You're watching CTV.
Use this opportunity to welcome again our esteemed members of the press. Thank you for joining us today in this media party at such a short time, short notice. I'm delighted to see that despite your very busy schedules and the very many areas you cover, you have reserved a place to honor our invitation. We deeply appreciate this. We decided to invite you to our campus to share with you a few things and to extend our hands of friendship to you members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm. For us, this is a very important exercise because the vision of Veritas University, where we are committed to not just academic excellence, but also moral and holistic formation of students, particularly building their skills to prepare them for the future. Since our relocation to Abuja in 2014, Veritas University has made significant strides in various aspects of academic and intellectual development of our students and staff. Our commitment to providing quality education and molding the holistic personality has been unwavering, leading to numerous accomplishments that have shaped the university's reputation both nationally and internationally. One of our proudest achievements is our consistent focus on academic excellence. Our dedicated faculty members have engaged in cutting-edge research, published in reputable journals, and received prestigious awards for their contribution to knowledge. The university's academic program has been recognized for their quality and relevance in preparing students for the challenges of the modern world. And I want to emphasize here that, ours is a dedication to duty. As you know, this is a faith-based university. Our dedication is to ensure that our students are completely well prepared for the future, not just to earn certificates, but also to build their skills for the future. In one of such recognitions in our partnership is our partnership with the African Development Bank. We recently hosted the president of the African Development Bank, Dr. Adewumi Adesina, who delivered our 12th convocation lecture. And in the course of the lecture, we also did exhibition. We did, innovation exhibition, and he was really extremely impressed with what our students are doing, and so promised to convert the Veritas University to become the Center of Excellence in Data and Coding in Nigeria. And a similar institute they have established also in Rwanda. So Veritas is going to we will be working with the African Development Bank to develop this Center for Coding and Innovation in Nigeria. Closely related to this is also our emergence as in Africa recently as the African Telecommunication Union organized Innovation Challenge in Nairobi. And that's exactly what is the immediate attraction for this meeting today. The reason for this meeting today is the achievement of our students in this competition in Africa. As you will be seeing and you'll be hearing from the innovators, our students and their staff went for a competition in Africa organized by African Telecommunication Union. And that involves all the universities in Africa, but particularly the shortlisted 26 last ones. So in the process, Veritas University's innovation, which they will explain to you, emerged the best in Africa. The second place was won by Zika University in Nairobi, in Kenya. And then the other one was won by a university in Sierra Leone. So the key actors in that process are the head of department, Dr. Emmanuel Bojo Stanley, and the doctor, the rest of them here. They will be introducing themselves, and you will know them personally, and they will tell you all that happened. So, but this is not just a one-off thing. This achievement is not one-off, because you recall that last year also, Veritas University won the African, or what they call the Pan-African Debating Championship. And some of you were invited for the celebration of that event. Of all the universities in Africa, Veritas University was the champion of the debate, which was organized in Nairobi, what we call the Pan-African Universities Championship. And prior to that time, and of course to qualify them to go to Africa in Nairobi was actually a competition of all the universities in Nigeria, where Veritas University was also the champion, beating all the other universities, including University of Lagos, University of Calabar, University of Ilorin, and so many other universities that participated in that championship. So that qualified them to represent Nigeria. I mean, not just Nigeria, but the whole of Africa in the intercontinental debate that will be happening in New York in April. So our students are going to New York in April to represent Africa in the intercontinental debate, which will involve Harvard, Oxford, and universities from Asia and South America. So they will be better. These young people will be representing. They've already bought their tickets, so they are ready to move. So that's where we are. And so, but this is not, again, as I said, this is not one-off. It's in our character to win. It's in the character of Veritas Universities to win in all championships, because we have discipline. The students have discipline. The students are, skilled. They are focused in what they do in Veritas, and that's our emphasis. If you recall again, 2 years ago and 3 years ago, Veritas University, there was a competition of all universities in Abuja area, including Nasarawa State University, Lafia, the one in University of Abuja, Based University, Nile University, and all these other universities within and around Abuja. All the competition they did in accounting, that was accounting championship. And again, Veritas University was the first. And that was repeated a year after. So, and of course, the one they did, our NFCS people, National Association of, Federation of Catholic Students, the one they did for the whole of Abuja Ecclesiastical Province, of course, Veritas University was also the first. So it's in our nature to win. Veritas University that is a measure. That's a measure of the discipline of our students. That's a measure of the focus we input in our students. That's also a measure of the level of skill that is being imparted on them by their teachers. So all we are saying is that, we want to celebrate these achievements. We want to celebrate these achievements of our students. And we want also to be sure that these inventions and these innovations are not just do not just end in paper or the exhibitions. We want also to be sure that these exhibitions are also available for people who are going to already to support them to take these innovations to the next level in terms of developing these inventions and innovations to their next level. So we need to have investors, we need to have entrepreneurs who are ready to help our students. Some of them have also registered. I can tell you some of our students have registered companies. I know a student here who has a company registered in Nigeria, registered in the UK and the Netherlands, and is pursuing a great cause. And he's been invited all over the world to come, and he just came back from Berlin the other, ending of the year, ending of last year to demonstrate his skills. And so we are happy with these developments, and we want to share it with the outside world. And you are the platform with which we can also share this information across. So those are basically. We want to say that parents who send their children, who have made the decision to send their children, or the students themselves who decide to come to Veritas University to have their education, are in the right place. We want to say that this is the area, this is a place to be. And I can tell you that these achievements are also impacting on the reputation of Veritas University. And last year, for example, we had so many applications for people who want to come and study in Veritas University that we had to stop our admissions midway because the number was more than what we expected. So, and of course, you know that Veritas University is also a fully residential university. We don't have students coming as day students except you are in postgraduate program. So, that's exactly what the information we want to pass across to the world, and that we want to thank you again for coming. I believe if you may have some questions or something, Ben will moderate and we'll see how far we can go. But again, I want to say thank you very much for coming all the way to Veritas University. For Third Fund to extend is funding to private universities in Nigeria, because these are also citizens. The students here are also not just in Veritas, but also in other private universities are also citizens of this country. And so if they benefit from the funding that is derived from the taxes their parents pay, I think it's a very good idea, very good idea. So I think it will be a great thing for them to extend their benevolence to private universities. But on the other side of the story is we don't want to be encumbered by the the procedures or I wouldn't say some embarrassments that come from public funding, where people now begin to come and believe that they can share. Oh, now the money is being allocated to private universities, and they want to come and share. Give us a cut. Or, you understand what I mean. You come for oversight function. You want to see what has been done. Oh, you must give us this. Otherwise, we won't approve this. We won't approve your budget if we don't get this amount. That kind of stuff. So this is purely, and we remain accountable institution. We want to remain accountable within the confines of our the ownership of Veritas University and its structure and intent. Kidnapping and insecurity and terrorism is not a phenomenon peculiar to Abuja or any part of Abuja specifically. Even though of recent there has been some kind of upward swing in the number, in incidents of kidnappings around Buhari area, which has been in the media for quite a few weeks. So, but of course, being a Nigerian, you know that kidnappings and insecurity is all over Nigeria. Now, more specific to your question, Veritas University makes it a top priority to provide security for safety of our staff and students. It's a very, very, very important aspect of our operation here to provide security, and we do everything possible to ensure that students have security around them and staff are safe. because without security, you can really not achieve anything. So, for that purpose, we have different layers of security. We have developed different layers of security, both hardware security and software security. I'm not sure that I will be explaining all that in details, but I want to say that we have, of course, you saw, so you have both the military, you have both this police, other systems of security around us, but also we also have software securities, which I don't want to delve into, and that is even more important. And but I think that is just what we can say. But I can tell you, our students are safe. Our students and staff are safe. We do everything possible to keep them safe. The total number of graduates we have produced, the ones we have produced, well, that will be ranging out to around 8,000. But the total number of students right now here, enrollment is about 5,005, excluding, of course, the postgraduate programs. We have, it may interest you to know that we have up to about 21 graduate programs, including 12 PhD programs and other master's programs in different. Even this, what they call it, computer science, is now approved by NUC to run PhD program in computer science. And of course, we have in economics, in political science, in mass communication, and accounting and others. So we have a number of postgraduate programs, and then of course also some programs, postgraduate programs in education and arts and humanities and others, English and literary studies. We have a number of postgraduate programs, a lot in short. And, but we are not including them in our student enrollment. The enrollment is quite different, yes. The monetary value, I think they will be explaining that to you, is, the first prize was $20,000, which has come to Veritas. In fact, it came to Nigeria, but Veritas. Then the second position was Zec University in Nairobi, and then the other one is the other university, which is $5,000 in Sierra Leone. Yes, that's exactly why we invited you, to be able to tell the outside people, the investors, to ring it to the ears of the investors that these students are doing great things and they are getting international recognition, and that it is now time for the investors to come and see. There are several other innovations the department, particularly the one they exhibited during the convocation, as I said earlier, which tackle the President of African Development Bank to make the promise. There were at least 9 of such, and the people who came here were really wowed with the innovations they saw. So these things are things that need to be translated to reality. And as you said, it's a very, very important question you've asked, how to translate this. And so our quest is to be able to find people who can actually stick themselves, invest, in these innovations, and see how we translate them to reality. But in our own small way, we have already planned that some of these inventions should we begin to do, some prototypes of them, to see how we can practicalize some of them in the university here, so that when they get when investors come and see what we are doing, they can also take it up from there. So, but the most important thing, and that is exactly the essence of this, is to find investors who will be interested in these innovations. Because, these guys are ingenious, what they have developed. But again, it takes an investor who is the risk taker to be able to put his money. All these big people we hear about, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, and all those other inventors and innovators, people decided to put their money, to see whether these things can. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But that is the risk an investor takes. You see, these things happened recently. For example, this one happened just on Friday. What we are planning to do is to do an exhibition in town and invite agencies to come and see. In fact, that was one of the decisions we took in council the other day, to do an exhibition in a hotel in town, and we are preparing towards that now, so that when that time comes, we'll invite you again to come and witness what the students will exhibit. And so that we are going to invite even government agencies, particularly those in agro-allied industries, to come and see, because some of these innovations are agro-allied. So we want to do an exhibition in the city, where we can invite different stakeholders to come and witness. Additional, who attended, the president of African Development Bank, who attended our exhibition, said this is the first time he's going to a university and he's seeing an exhibition of this magnitude and the kind of inventions the students are able to do. And that's why he wants to stake something in this university. So maybe others will, when others know about them, they may be able to come and make it some. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Let me tell you that some of these students who are doing these things are just in their second year, third year, of the university training. And so you can imagine the level of skill that they have acquired. So we are hoping that in the next 4 or 5, we are going to be bubbling, and we are going to be having a multiplicity of innovations that people can come here and invest. And let me tell you, that's why we are also building a center for innovation, a massive center for innovation. And somebody has taken 100 million to it. And if somebody has taken 100 million to it, and we are looking for more funds. So, but when we are done with it, you will see a massive building just for innovation and invention. Engineering, digital innovation, engineering innovation. So those are just some of the developments that we have had, and we are hoping that we'll make that in the next couple of years we are going to see massive explosion of students with ideas, and then we are providing them. Remember, these things do not come just by happenstance. It's just a result of the massive investments we have made in those areas. Equipping our software engineering, they will tell you what they have, and they can even take you to their labs. You can even go to our AI lab. I'm not sure that there is any university with our level of AI lab. You can go and see, okay? And other, other digital labs we have on campus. But the essence is to equip students to be able to be innovative and competitive.
Before the program started, we had serious planning on what the program should be like. We compared the program with other programs, and we said there are deficiencies in the way other programs are being handled. We want this program to be different in the handling. And so the deficiency actually lies in the hands-on, the way other programs are being run. So we decided that in software engineering to be heavily hands-on, heavily practical intensive. And that's how the program started in earnest. Our students are currently in their 300 level. We actually start early with them. We start from 100 level. We expose them to serious cognitive skills and psychomotor skills, ensuring that they are well groomed and well committed to the purpose why they are in school. Hardly our students hardly have all the luxuries, because they either have one assignment to do, one project to do, and one take-home assignment to do, and all that. The way we run the department is this. All our programs, courses that are departmental based, they all have a corresponding practicals. So we have students, they do both the theory and then the practicals. Start right from 100 level. And that has actually distinguished us. Our first year students, what they can do is actually remarkable, right from their first year. And at the end of first year, they go for what we call practicum. There's hardly any university in Nigeria that do that. From first year, their students going for practicum. Our students go on practicum at the end of the first year. The reason why we do that is because we're already investing in them from their the 2 semesters in the first year. And so they have enough to go for practicum in the industry during their long vacation. So that's how we've been running the program. And our program is lab intensive. Serious lab intensive. The practicals is reflected in the way they are taught. It's reflected in the way they are examined. Currently, our students, they are examined both in the theory, in their exams, they are examined both in the theory and in the practicals. So that has become a kind of part and parcel of them, that it is being reflected in the things they do. And all our practical courses have an end result. Each student is to produce a project. Okay? At the end of every practical course, there's a project they will produce. So in the department, we have multiple projects. Students from year 1 till the current year 3, in each practical course they are being taught, there's a project they will showcase. And some of those projects, they have to defend it before a panel in the department to be sure that they actually did it by themselves. So what we're seeing today is actually a reflection of what the practice within the department and what the department has been doing in terms of developing the students, both intellectually and also in hands-on skills. With regards to this competition, we actually entered into it around October last year. It's an Africa-wide competition. And the competition is all about showcasing to the people who called for the competition on what we do in our lab, the software engineering lab. We explained to them what we do, the projects our students are developing, how the lab is being run, and how the department is being run. The hands-on experience we expose, the hands-on learning we expose our students to. And when they judged, after a rigorous process, they judged all that we did, and they found it worthy that we're the first in Africa.
So after that, the department actually held, the lab actually held a software exhibition and competition, the first software exhibition and competition for this university. And students started seeing the need to get themselves software ready to produce software-driven applications in various fields. So the competition and exhibition was open for all faculty students, all students from different fields to participate in that competition. So the second phase, we started thinking, how are we going to fund it? Because these students, they need resources to be able to participate in such a competition. And they need faculty mentors as well to train them and make them software ready for them to also solve problems, their immediate problems within their surroundings. So in order to do that, we started searching for means at which to achieve that, to get funding. Thus, we saw an opening, the ATU Innovation Challenge, which focuses on practices in institutions to bring about diversity and inclusion, and also bridge the gap in terms of the digital economy. Thus, we keyed in our proposal for the competition, telling them, like my HOD said, about our practice, how with faculty mentors from different thematic areas ranging from IoT, embedded systems, blockchain, 5G, networking, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, UI, UX, mobile and web application development. So we have faculty mentors who are experts in those areas. And I want to also use this medium to commend my HOD and as well the VC for equipping the department with those faculty mentors. These are the people that train the students day and night to ensure that they are ready for the outside world. So with that, when I and my team prepared the proposals, we went for the fortunately, we became the top 11 and were invited for an interview. And that interview process, we further showcased the strength of the software engineering lab and also the need, because as students keep saying this development from other students, they actually want to key in. Thus, the resources being provided were not enough to cater for what? New students that want to also key in into what? The learning process. And so, when the ATU, I believe when the ATU interviewers saw that, they noticed that gap and wanted to fill it in. And to God be the glory, the team came out as the best amongst the 26 participants in the competition. Say we encounter challenges. No, we did not really encounter challenges. Reason being that it's a dream that have already started. So telling the story in terms of writing wasn't that difficult, because it's actually a very convincing dream, because the goal of the Department of Software Engineering Lab is to ensure that students don't just go out with just theoretical knowledge, but hands-on experience to be able to become, like I said prior, employers or what? Employees in the society. So the plan, the dream is very clear. So it was very easy to pen it down and then submit. That's why when we were actually there during the interview process, it was very easy to actually convince them, because it's a dream that has been lingering for a very long time.
But they are packaging all these characters into a software. So they have to know a little bit of everything to reproduce inside the computer environment. So you see, they have to be better than the lawyer and know what the lawyer does. They already know it. They have to be like the policeman and know what he does so that they can produce him. So you see, it puts them on their toes. At every point in time, they are aware that they are transmitting the physical world into the virtual world. So they are ready. So from 100 level, we put their hands on knowing fully well that everything you're seeing here can exist behind the walls of your computer. So that perspective is always there. So they are already ready.
You are watching CTV.